All right, let's talk about what the pros are really doing when they swing trade. And I'll give you a hint. It has almost nothing to do with predicting the future. Instead, it's all about shifting from just, hoping and guessing to using a repeatable, systematic process.
When you're first starting out, trading can seriously feel like a coin flip. You see a setup you think you like, you get that rush of hope, you place the trade, and then boom, you feel that sting of a loss. It's this wild emotional roller coaster, and it feels completely out of your control. But here's the secret the pros know. They're not trying to be fortune tellers. They're focused on systematic execution and risk management. It's not about having a crystal ball. It's about having a statistical edge and sticking to the plan. So, what does that process actually look like in practice? Well, it all starts with the anatomy of a trade. Every single professional trade begins with a complete game plan, a specific written-down hypothesis that we call a trade thesis. And this framework is just brilliant. Before you ever risk a single dollar, you have to know 4 things. You need to know the why, that's your setup. The when, that's your trigger. The where, your profit target. And maybe most importantly, at what point am I just plain wrong? That's your invalidation point.
Okay, so you've got your plan. The next huge question is, how do you actually get into the trade? And really, there are 2 core philosophies here, and each one has its own set of trade-offs. So you can wait for a breakout. This gives you confirmation that, okay, the move is actually happening, but you're going to pay a slightly higher price for that certainty. Or you can try to get a better price on a pullback. This can really improve your potential risk to reward, but it does come with a bit more uncertainty. There's no right answer here. It's all about what fits your strategy.
Look, an entry plan is totally useless without an exit plan. And let me be super clear. I'll just see how it goes is not a strategy. It's a recipe for disaster. Your exit has to be just as planned out as your entry.
Now here is the absolute key. Your exit method has to match your reason for getting into the trade in the first place. If you're trading a simple range, a predefined target makes perfect sense. But if you're trying to catch a monster trend, a structure-based exit or a trailing stop is what lets you ride that winner for as long as possible.
This brings us to the golden rule. And honestly, mastering this one concept is probably the biggest thing that separates traders who make it from those who, blow up their accounts.
You have to completely reframe what a stop loss actually means. It is not an admission that you failed. It's not you being wrong. It's just the point where the market gives you data that proves your initial hypothesis was incorrect. That's it. It lets you take a small, managed loss and move on to the next idea without getting emotional. And this number is the key to survival. This is the rule of capital preservation. You should never, ever risk more than 1% of your total account on any single trade. Why? Because this rule makes sure that you can survive a long losing streak, and trust me, they happen to everyone, and still be in the game to trade another day.
Okay, let's put all of this together into an actionable checklist. This is how you start building your own professional trading playbook, taking all this theory and actually putting it into practice. Seriously, by just walking through these 5 steps for every single trade, you fundamentally change the game. You're no longer making these emotional, reactive gambles. You are now running a systematic, process-driven business where you are in control of your risk, and you execute a plan. So what's the real goal here? It's not just about finding winning trades. It's about building a solid process that protects you from the losing ones. That discipline is the true foundation for any long-term success. And if you're ready to start building your own professional playbook, you can go deeper at stockoMJ.ai.